I'm Amanda Penza. I'm a grad student at Boston College studying social work. I currently work at Stacy Middle School in Milford as a social worker and adjustment counselor, and I've worked in Los Angeles at a homeless shelter for families with minor children as a teaching assistant. There have definitely been times when I was trying to teach a young person, especially last year, where they were reluctant to even put forth any sort of effort. I think that it had less to do with race than it did with social support and economic status, and I know that those are closely tied to race a lot of the time. When I'm working at this middle school, it's a primarily white population, but there's also some Brazilian kids, and I see the same issue across the board. A lot of resistance to learning and feelings that I can't do it, that they just simply are incapable for whatever reason. I do think that this sort of reluctance to put forth effort is a larger problem in urban communities, and I also think it is a larger problem specifically with minority students. These students are not always receiving the social support that they need at home. Like maybe mom and dad are working 2 or 3 jobs, especially in an urban setting, and they can't get home in time. They don't really have the desire to check over their kids' homework, or maybe they don't even know how to do the homework themselves. And I think that that contributes to the huge problem with a reluctance to put forth effort and then a lack of achievement in the school. This is a really complicated issue. It does stem from lack of support in the classroom, but I don't think that's anybody's fault who's in the classroom. I think that's the nature of the system. If you have one teacher, one assistant teacher, and 25 kids, none of these kids are getting the appropriate attention and none of them are getting the support that they need. I think that the best thing that educators can do is to communicate with the parents. And there will be resistance on that level too. I'm sure there's a lot of parents out there who don't want to hear that their kid is having trouble and they don't really want to investigate the source of the problem and they don't want to take responsibility for it. But the teacher can make a huge difference here. The teacher can fill in that social support if even for a year. And if the teacher knows that there's no support happening at home, then that person is able to make greater efforts in the classroom to reach that student.